Hey friends, it's Ryan with Arrows of Love. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a doozy of a couple of months, right? We just went through this Mars, Uranus, Rahu conjunction in the sign of Taurus. That could have been quite electric, shocking turn of events. That was over August 1st. We're now in September 1st, and the events coming up don't get any easier. And I want people to be aware of that. What's coming up now is a time of review. Action planet Mars, the warrior, its inertia, its cutting, its severing, is going to go retrograde right around Halloween, October 25th, right around that time frame. Mars is entering shadow right now in the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is the chatty Cathy of the zodiac. It's ruled by Mercury, so Mercury's constantly moving around. Mercury wants to travel, they're spreading the word. That's what Mercury does. Now remember what Mercury also is. Mercury dips in and out of the underworld as he goes retrograde. And guess what Mercury is about to do on September 10th? It's going to station retrograde in the sign of Libra. So it's the sign of relationships, the sign of the scales, the sign of justice, balance. So we're going to be looking at relationships. And there could be a lot of things on our mind right now because Mars is in Gemini, and Mars is going to be in Gemini for the next 7 months. It's going to be in Gemini until March of 2023. So this is going to be a huge review for a lot of people. Something is coming up right now that we're going to have to review because right now Mars is entering his shadow phase, which basically means he's going to move forward all the way until about Halloween, station retrograde, and then move all the way back until this degree of right now. So everything that we do up until Halloween is going to have to be reviewed. So let's also think about what Gemini is about. Gemini is about talking and communicating. It's about what's happening in the mind. So we might have to cut out certain habits of the mind, certain thought processes that are no longer serving us, communication styles that are no longer serving us. Be careful of lying, manipulating, cheating, especially during Mars retrograde. All of that will come out. And it could be very, very severe. So the other thing about Mars retrograde is no aggression. You see any type of aggressive activity during the shadow period or even when Mars is retrograde, the aggressor never wins this one. You really have to learn how to control that fire, Agni. It's the fire god in the sign of Gemini. People are going to lose their minds. We really have to learn how to control mental stability. Mars is in the sign of Mercury. Mercury is in the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. And Venus is going into her fall in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is not a happy place for Venus, generally speaking. Venus is love, desire, sex, wanting to come together, right? Mars separates, pulls apart. Venus wants to bring together. And in another sign of Virgo, it's another Mercury-ruled sign. It's mental energy. And Venus, generally speaking, as an archetype, isn't a lot about thinking. It's a lot about feeling. It's a lot about the heart. It's a lot about what's in the heart. So there's this clash between head and heart. What do you do? And we're going to be reviewing this over the next 3 weeks. On top of it, all of this energy coming up for review, especially with relationships, especially what's happening in the mind. It's all about thought processes. What thought processes are holding you back in your relationships? What do you need to give up in order to have a healthy relationship, not only for yourself, but to calm the mind, right? It's all of these things are coming out for review right now. So I'm going to go through each sign. I have the tarot. We're going to pull one card from the tarot, one from the Angel's Oracle for each sign for Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde. It's going to be a doozy, okay? Whatever comes up over the next 7 months, it's all coming up now. It's percolating. We start to see the fog. We start to see what's coming through the fog, because there's a lot of things happening with Mercury on top of it. So Mercury sitting in the sign of Libra is going to oppose Jupiter, the planet of expansion, knowledge, good luck, opportunity, growth, in the sign of Aries. And it's a very hot Jupiter, very single-minded Jupiter, a Jupiter that is concerned about himself, because that's what Aries is. Aries is about the self, taking care of the self. Opposing Mercury, which wants to dissect, take things apart, decode, in the sign of Libra. So it's all about relationships. And are we losing ourselves in our relationships? Are we taking on the identity of our partner at the expense of our own happiness? Or vice versa? Those are all these questions that are going to come up during this time. It's not going to be an easy transit over the next few months. There's going to be a lot of things coming up with political leaders over the next few months as well. Saturn's retrograde right now in the sign of Aquarius. That's his home sign. That's the sign of the office. A lot of things are coming up with Saturn again. And it's all about discipline. It's all about hard work. It's cutting those things out that are no longer serving us. And there's going to be this tension, this mental anxiety. So this is a really good time to start clearing those things out that are no longer serving you. And it has a lot to do with your communication, your thoughts, patterns of behavior in thought and speech with your partner. And it's going to be, it's one of tension. It just is. And there's no two ways around this. So we have to heal ourselves. We have to find meditative practices to calm the mind. You have to find that happy spot when things get really stressful. It's not going to be an easy one overall. So let's see what is happening with each of the signs. I'm going to pull one card from the Tarot, one from the angels, just to see what's going on with love and relationships, give some advice for the next 3 weeks. The other thing that's coming up right around Halloween is eclipse season. So it's going back to things that started back in April, because that's when the eclipses were coming up. It's right around May 1st, actually. So that's when we had the solar eclipse in Taurus, and now we're going to go through eclipse season again on this Taurus-Scorpio axis. So you're going to need to take a look at what Taurus and Scorpio represents for you, and then those are the themes that are going to start coming up over the next few weeks, especially as Mars starts to go retrograde, because Mars rules Scorpio. It's going to be a doozy, okay? The best thing we can do in this case is understand that if universe starts taking things out of our life, it's done for a reason. We have to let go. When the nodes of the moon are involved, and that's the north and south node, that's Rahu, Ketu. Whenever the sun and moon are opposing each other or they're conjunct each other with the nodes, we're either at a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, and those are major life events that are destined. And Rahu is known as the demon king. He'll lure you in with lies, deception, illusion, money, fame, fortune, whatever you want. He'll give it to you to see how it is you deal with those things that you really want, that you really actually shouldn't have. And then Ketu, the south node, is about taking down. Moksha. It is liberation. You have to give something up in order to move forward. So it's this constant interplay with these eclipses. You have Rahu that's trying to tempt you with something that you probably shouldn't be around. And then you have Ketu, which says you need to liberate yourself. And it's very difficult to go through. And it's right over Halloween when the veil between this material world and the spiritual world is at its thinnest. Everyone needs to be on the up and up. Everyone needs to mind your words. Lying, cheating, manipulating, illusions of any type are going to get cut by Mars. That's what Mars is. It's cutting and severing. Mars is constantly on the warpath. He wants a fight. That's what Mars does. He wants to fight. But at the age of 27 or older, Mars wants to fight the good fight for those less fortunate, those that need help, those that can't defend themselves, not just looking out for himself and his own self-interests. So these are the themes that are going to be playing out for everyone. All right, so let's see what's going on with each of the signs. It's going to be a doozy. I'm just telling people this right now. I know I get on here when like there's some major astrological transits happening, but I feel like this is when people need the most help, when they're not sure what's happening. So you need to take a look. What is Gemini for you? What house is it sitting in? What needs to be released? What needs to be cut, severed, let go? Because that's what Mars is. And cutting and severing is not always the worst thing, right? We get sick. The body needs healing. It needs to purge and release. That's what Mars is. It's that release. Mercury's all about the mind, communicating, traveling. It's getting the mind right. It's cutting out those thought processes, that anxiety, the depression, those things that just aren't serving you anymore. And it's going to come in very, very sharply. And you're going to know exactly what needs to be cut out or severed. Okay. We're all going to go through it. No one gets to escape this one. All right, let's start with Aries, because Aries, you are the first sign of the zodiac. You got Mars retrograde coming. And for you, Aries, this is going to happen in your third house of communication, siblings, your local environment. So there could be some problems with siblings. There could be some problems in your local environment. You might want to be moving. You might want to be cutting things out that no longer serve you in that environment. And then you got Mercury on the exact opposite end of you, doing a little bit review of your relationships. So how are you communicating with your partner and your significant other? Is it just fighting? Is it just conflict? Or are you able to compromise and see eye to eye? All right, Aries, so let's see what advice we have from you. One card from the Tarot, one from the angels. This is from the angels. Release your ex. The time has come to release. The time has come to clear your energy. So Aries, this is going to be a hard one for you. Mars retrogrades always affect you probably the most, you and Scorpio, and it's just time to release them. If things aren't working out for you, you got to let them go. So that's from the angels, and from the Tarot, yeah, 8 of Cups. So here's the other thing. This is the only card in the Tarot that has an eclipse on it. It's the sun and the moon, and it's the man walking away. There's still emotion here. There's 8 cups still upright. You two love each other, but you don't see eye to eye. Your values probably are not matching in some respect. You're on 2 different paths. This was a stepping stone soulmate that is trying to realign you to where it is you actually need to go. So the man here is walking away from a situation, maybe around eclipse period, right around Halloween, and he's headed toward the mountains. So maybe mountains are significant for you. Maybe you just need to get outside. Maybe there's a mountain, metaphorically, that you need to climb for yourself. And you got to climb that on your own. And you're going to take a little bit of a hermit hike to get to that mountain and do some real soul searching here. And what's next? So Aries is not an easy one for you, but there are good things coming. Because think about it this way. After the 8 of Cups is the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. And it's refilling those cups so you can give more to the person that actually wants to be in your life. Release the X. All right. Taurus. Taurus sun, Taurus rising. Mars is going to be in your second house of earned income. Could be some problems on the job front. Could be a loss of cash. Unexpected expenses come up here. The second house also has to do with your speech. So Mars is cutting out certain things with your speech. So Taurus, you're usually pretty good about being honest with people. But sometimes I feel like you don't want to hurt people and you tend to shield them from the truth. So when you do that, sometimes you actually create more problems for yourself because you're not facing the truth. You're not being honest with your significant other. So you need to be really, really careful with your speech over the next month and a half because Mars is going to be reviewing that area for you. And then it's also earned income, and it's having an impact. It's basically having an impact on that 8th house as well. So joint finances even could come into play here. What's mine, what's yours could come into play here. It's not an easy place for Mars. And then Mercury is going to be in Libra, which for you is that sixth house of conflict, health, work. Could be some work stuff coming up, could be some health things coming up that you need to review here. It's not going to be an easy one. And then on top of it, Jupiter sitting in that 12th house in Aries, and that's endings. That's clearing up. It's helping you heal where you self-sabotage yourself. So you really want to take a look at Aries, and it has a lot to do with you needing independence, you needing to be able to go do your own thing. Are you claiming your own independence in a way that's actually hurting other people? Are you being secretive in a way that's hurting other people? Those are things that are going to come up for you. But be careful. There could be unexpected expenses, again, possibly a job loss. That's just kind of the way the ball rolls on this one. So let's see. This is the advice from the angels for you, Taurus. Love yourself first. Your self-interest makes you more romantically attractive. So you need to work on yourself. You need to work on your speech. You need to work on what fills you up. Second house is about self-worth. How do you value yourself? Are you showing up for yourself? What are your values? Are you communicating your values in a way that a partner can understand and reciprocate? Or are you keeping what it is you value to yourself? Love yourself first. Here's the card from the tarot. Yeah, you're doing some balancing with money. You might have to do some rebalancing here. It's the juggle. It's the Two of Pentacles. So it's a little bit of a juggling act. Not really sure what to do next. What it's saying is love yourself, okay? Take care of yourself first. Watch your speech, especially what you're saying over the next few months, because any lies, any manipulation is going to come hit you very, very hard. This is karmic, right? The 8, karmic ties. All right, so just be careful with your speech. Who's next? Gemini. Gemini. So Gemini, Mars is in your first house right now. Be careful of cuts, be careful of accidents, be careful of sharp objects, crazy people around you. I'm not trying to make you even more jittery and anxious than you already are, but you do need to be careful of the body, okay? Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Something within the body might need to be let go. Maybe something needs a cleansing, something needs to be released, okay? So because it's in your first house of the body. And Mercury right now is sitting in the sign of Libra. That's the 5th house. 5th house has to do with children, romance, karmic rewards for past life deeds. We're reviewing some of these things, right? Fun and entertainment, games, it's the fun house, right? Are you taking it overboard, Gemini? Are you doing too much where you need to pull it back? Are you hurting yourself because you are giving yourself too much to a partner that's not giving back to you? Is it reciprocal? Mars and Mercury are going to be making a trine to each other basically right now. So you might actually find some healing here. You might actually find an understanding here with your partner. But you're going to be going back and forth with this for the next 3 weeks. You got to be really careful again with your speech, because Mars is anger. Mars is aggression. You are the communicator. So if you are feeling that anger building and you're feeling competitive and you want to get that anger out, you need to go exercise. You need to go find something that is a healthy competition, or find a cause. Find a cause that you can get behind so you can fight the good fight, but not fight with the person that you love, okay? Gemini. This is from the angels. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Your ruling planet Mercury is going to station retrograde on September 10th. Something's coming up over the next 10 days that's going to make you want to review relationships, because that's where your ruling planet is right now, in the sign of relationships, short-term relationships, by the way, too. The 5th house is a house of karmic rewards. It's a house of sex, romance, but it's short-term romance, okay? So very soon, you need to decide what you want. Yeah, here it is. This just amplifies this. It's the Two of Swords. Your mind is everywhere. You're trying to decide which direction do you go. Maybe you're weighing options with different people in your life, but you don't have all the information, okay? Something's being hidden from you because the lady's blindfolded here, and here's the moon, which represents secrets, things unseen. It's reflective light. Something's being reflected back to you, maybe that causes you to take a step back, and maybe you need to redecide your direction with a certain someone, but you're going to have to decide soon. I would say you're going to know during this Mercury retrograde which way to go, Gemini. So be careful of it. Be careful of angry speech, especially with you during this Mars retrograde, okay? All right, Cancer. Mars is in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of the subconscious. It's the house of isolation and confinement. It's the house of self-sabotage. It's also a house of astrology and mystic studies and research. So there's a couple of different ways to handle the 12th house. You can isolate, and you can get in touch with your spirituality during this time, but also be careful of letting the mind wander too much, going down that rabbit hole to try to find answers, right? Because right now, Mars is going to be in that 12th house for a very long time, cutting out all of those bad habits that are holding you back, that are not good for you. And then Mercury is sitting in the sign of Libra, which is the 4th house of home. So in Vedic astrology, the 12th house also has to do with foreign land, foreign people, and Mars is a karaka of property. And Mercury is going to be reviewing that 4th house of home, family, foundation. So some of you might be moving, some of you. I'm a Cancer rising, so I'll let you guys know that I just signed a purchase agreement for a house. And I'm isolating kind of right now purposely to do some spiritual practices, getting back in touch with God, the ethereal. I'm busy studying. I'm working on me, right? Cutting out those bad habits that don't serve me anymore. But as soon as I decided to release something that wasn't working for me anymore, just like that, this house came out for me that I've been wanting for years. So Cancer, what I'm going to say to you is a really tough decision is coming. As soon as you decide it's no longer working for you, magic happens. But you're going to have to go through this, okay, Cancer? So let's see what the angels have for you. Codependencies, addictions are affecting your romantic life. What are you codependent on? What are you addicted to? Are you addicted to that feeling that they give you? Is it substances that you're addicted to? Is there something that's dragging you down? I know what it was for me. Some codependency here. Are you lapsing yourself into your partner without maintaining some of your own identity? Addictions come in many different forms. Are you addicted to bad relationships? Are you addicted to attracting people that aren't good for you? New path. Cancer, I love seeing this, okay? This is your card, the Chariot. You're on a new path. This is home. Some of you are moving, okay? You are on a new path. You have a victory coming. As soon as you give up this codependency of whatever it is, Chariot comes in, which is a victory. I love this for you, Cancer. But this Mars retrograde and this Mercury retrograde isn't going to be easy, but it's going to come, okay? Those rewards will come in as soon as you give up that codependent relationship, whatever it is. All right, who's next? Leo. For you, Mars is going to retrograde in your 11th house. Now, this one can be tricky because the 11th house has to do with your future, has to do with your friends, your group associations, and your allies. Has to do with gains from work. So some of you might lose some money. Some of you might lose a friend. That's not really a friend. You're going to be reviewing all of those themes of the 11th house. Your future is changing in some way. And now you have Mercury that's going to go retrograde in the sign of Libra. And for you, and that's in your 3rd house of competition. Siblings, your local community, travel, speech. Something here is changing. So be careful with friends, be careful with people at work. Those are work colleagues as well. But there is something here that can be won. So once Mars retrograde is finished, and you finish clearing out those third house themes with Mercury in the sign of Libra, gains come in. Big gains. So your future is changing, Leo. You need to give this time. Let's see what the angels have for you. Children, your love life is being affected by children. Interesting. Some of you might just need a vacation from the kids. Some of you might have a child that is needing some help. Some of you. And it's not, think of children more as people that are less mature than you too. So it's not just children. It might be a spouse that's acting like a child. It might be, this could be viewed in many different ways, but something with children here needs to be addressed. And yeah, it's the truth. It's a new start. It's that victory with children. So maybe something with a child isn't, what I'm getting is that there's been some conflict with children, basically, or maybe it was a sibling of some type, someone in the family, but the truth is now coming out, okay? We're probably right around Mercury retrograde, and you're gonna see it for what it is, and now you're gonna be able to address that situation so you can get back to your love life here. Maybe there's a child that's trying to get in the way of a relationship too, jealous child, whatever it is, truth is coming out, Leo. All right, who's next? Virgo. Mars retrograde in Gemini for you. That's your 10th house of career. So some of you might be reviewing career. Some of you might also be moving because you take a different career. So whenever the 10th house is activated, usually the 4th house is too. So 4 and 10, home, maybe there's some conflict between home and work, family and work, obligations to each. Some of you might be getting a new job eventually because the current one isn't working out. And then your ruling planet Mercury is in the 2nd house of earned income in Libra. So work partnerships of some type might be coming up for review, might be some explosive events where you decide this is no longer a situation for me and you want to just leave that altogether. So money, work, career is all changing for you, but it might have an effect on your home and your family and your significant other too. So let's see what the angels have to say for you, Virgo. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Here it is. If there's conflict between home and family, maybe significant other's gone a lot and you don't get to see them and now it's causing these problems. You got to give it a chance. You got to work through these things. Don't just start cutting for the sake of cutting. Yeah, so you're having a decision to make here. Do you stay in this relationship or not? Do you take this job or not? Maybe some of you have options in love. This is the Gemini card after all. You need to give it a chance. This is divine timing. Something needs to be given up here, and Mars is going to cut it out, basically, to set you on that new path. So give yourself time to make the decision. I wouldn't be making any major decisions now that Mercury's in shadow and is going to be retrograding in all of like 9 or 10 days here. Give it some time. But love yourself too. Give your partnership a chance, Virgo. Libra. All right, Libra. Big stuff with relationships. Mars is going to be retrograding in the sign of Gemini. And for you, that is your 9th house. The 9th house has to deal with foreign lands, foreign people, international travel, father figures, gurus, mentors. The 9th house is also known as a house of marriage. So maybe some of you are reviewing a partnership. Maybe some of you decide to get married. Maybe some of you decide to end a relationship because Mercury is going to retrograde in your home sign, the sign of the self. So it's 1 and 7 are being activated. You and someone else are going to be reviewing all of these themes of your partnership and the way you communicate and what's going on in your mind, Libra, over the next 7 months. And it's starting with this Mercury retrograde in your first house, which is having an impact on your 7th house of partnerships. Take it slow, dissect, but don't overanalyze. And you don't want to be too critical of your spouse. And Libra, you tend to not be too critical, but with Mercury in your home sign, you can be pretty critical. So watch your speech. Don't cause any arguments. Let's see what the angels have to say. Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Yeah, it's, like I said, Mercury is speech. Mercury is communication. Maybe you need to have this serious conversation, this heart-to-heart, so you guys can get down to what it is you believe in, right? Because the 9th house is your higher beliefs. It's your ideals. So what are your ideals in a relationship? Do your values match? Have a heart-to-heart conversation. Here's from the Tarot. Yeah, Hanged Man. You're in suspense. You're not really sure what to do. You're kind of just hanging out. And with the Hangman, it's always a matter of getting in touch with your higher self, because he's got the halo around his head. God is guiding you. The universe is guiding you, but you have to listen, and you can't overanalyze the situation. And this is also saying hold, pause, don't make any rash decisions. Mars and Gemini is going to make people snappy. They're going to want to fight. And this is saying don't give in, but have a heart-to-heart conversation. All right, that's for my Libras. Scorpio. Scorpio, Mars is going to retrograde in your 8th house. This is the house of upheaval, karmic debts, financial institutions, debts owed to you, debts owed to others, joint ventures. And then Mercury is going to retrograde in that 12th house of foreign people, foreign land, escapism, sex, drugs, alcohol, hidden partners. Some of you, not all of you, but there could be some hidden partners in a relationship right now that you're going to find out about, and that might cause quite the commotion, because that 8th house where Mars is going to retrograde in Gemini, it's going to make you think that might be something going on. Maybe you get really suspicious, and you're going to want to investigate. The best thing you can do at this time is recognize where you are self-sabotaging yourself. Are you letting the mind go too far? Are you wanting to investigate too far and draw inferences that actually aren't there? Because your mind is too busy. You need something to focus on. You need to be able to hone in on your spiritual practices, hobbies, things that are going to make you feel better, and cut out those things that are self-sabotaging. It has a lot to do with the mind. It has a lot to do with the mind and your thoughts. Could be dealing with a trickster too. Mercury is the trickster. People might appear one way and turn out there's something completely different. So let's see what the angels have to say about this new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings, Scorpio. So you might have someone on the radar, but I would be cautious, very cautious. Mars retrograde, that's your home planet. It is cutting, there's one way to interpret Mars retrograding in the 8th. It's cutting out upheaval too, right? But Mercury in that 12th, you're going to be suspicious. You're going to be investigating. And I would wait. There might be information that you don't see. Yep, Tower. Especially for you, Scorpio, because all of these eclipse energy is coming, I would probably wait to enter a new relationship. Probably until the end of the year, and maybe even after that. If there's something that doesn't seem right, the lovers are falling out of the tower. There is something here that is not built on a steady foundation. And lightning is indicative of Uranus, and these eclipses are going to activate Uranian energy because Uranus is on the North Node. There's illusion here. There's deception here. I'd stay away from this one, whoever that is. You're not getting the full story, Scorpio. And I'm going to leave it at that. Sag. So Mars is going to be retrograding in your 7th house of legal contracts, one-on-one relationships, open enemies. This is not going to be an easy one for you either. You're going to be reviewing all of these things. And then Mercury, what's on your mind, is going to be in that sign of Libra, which is in your 11th house of gains, friendships, allies, group associations. Is your friend really a friend? Are they giving you good advice? Are they being fair and balanced? Is your partner being really agitated with speech? Kind of fiery? You're going to need to really hone it in, because you already got that fire. You got that Agni in you already, Sagittarius, because you are built on fire. You're built on spirit. But this one's really going to test you. Some of you, you're going to be looking at relationships. Some of you might decide this is no longer a relationship that's working for me. Some of you might decide there are thought patterns, there are speech patterns, there are activities within our relationship that are simply just not working, and it needs to be rebuilt. Something needs to be cut out in order to have this relationship work. And it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. But those of you that can manage to cut out those things that are holding you back, whether it's group associations, certain friends, people that don't seem like on the up and up, you need to just let them go. You have to let them go. The other thing, Sag, is Jupiter, your ruling planet, is in his home sign of Pisces. Some of you might be moving after the end of all of this. So it's actually a good move too, because Jupiter in Pisces, Jupiter loves to be in Pisces. That's his home sign. That's where he wants to be. Jupiter in Sag, that's when he's in the office. He's getting things done. But Jupiter in Pisces, it's a lot to do with water. So if you are feeling it, like you're really feeling that pressure from a significant other or your friends, and you're just like, I don't know what's real and what's fake, get near water. Take a hot bath. It is healing for you, especially Sag, because you gotta tone that fire down. You gotta tone that fire down, and the way to do that is through water. So get near water, okay? Over the next couple months, if you're just feeling so burnt up, get near water. All right. This is the advice from the angels. Separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So again, Mars is separating, cutting. And that 7th house, it's going to have an effect on you and your partner. So maybe taking some time out is actually not the worst thing. Maybe you just need to step away to see things clearly. It doesn't mean a permanent ending, okay? It means you just need to be apart from each other for a little bit, because it's just, you're not seeing eye to eye. This is the advice from the Tarot. Yeah, it's the moon. It's time to get in touch with your intuition, your spirituality. If you're feeling clouded, because that's what the moon is, right? It's reflective light of the sun. If you're feeling clouded right now, it's time to just take a step back. And moon is water, by the way, right? Moon is water. You need to get near some water. I keep coming back to that. But the secrets, whatever is happening, Sag, it will be revealed. I wouldn't go looking for it. Everything comes out in time, right? But it's just time to take a step back. Look at your own look at the subconscious. There's something here that needs to be reviewed. Something here that's not seen, but water is going to be very healing. And maybe that's where you get, your psychic conscious of what to do next. I got a lot of Sag people in my life. A lot of my family is Sag. Cases is Sag. I got a lot of Sag friends. And I know some of you guys are not doing well. And if you're feeling like you're not connecting with God, spirit, get near water, okay? That's the best piece of advice for right now. Capricorn. Cappies, Mars in Gemini is going to be reviewing health, work, service, routine, animals, small pets. Be nice to your pets. Make sure you're taking care of your pets right now. Here's a little known secret about how to deal with your 6th house, which is known as a house of conflict. Be sure you're taking care of your pets really well. It helps your routine, it helps your work, it helps deal with enemies, seen and unseen, okay? So this is something's coming up with work. And then Mercury in the sign of Libra is your house of career. It's 10 signs past Capricorn. So this is going to be a work-related, health-related transit for you. Capricorn, you just might be ready for something else, and you might have been ready for something else for a while, and this is kind of like the final step. So just go through the motions, make sure you're watching your health, cut out all those unhealthy habits that are holding you back. Don't get into fights. You're going to have to really hold back, Capricorn, because you typically have restraint, but if someone really pushes your buttons, wow, you flatten everything. I'm a Capricorn sun, and I have Venus and Mercury and Neptune all in Capricorn, so I know Capricorn very well, and I know how I can be when I'm pissed off, and it can be, let me put it this way, it's the truth, but it's the truth that cuts so deep that people don't survive it. So you need to really, really watch your speech at work, okay? And with partners. Romantic feelings, your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay, so that's kind of interesting because Cap, you don't really have anything going on in your love houses right now. So this could be an interesting one. Romantic feelings are being stirred. Oh, you're going to a victory of some type here. Wow. So if you are working on yourself, Capricorn, if you're getting your health in order, you're getting work in order, you're getting your routine back in order, you get the victory. This is a victory. It's the 6 of Wands. You're riding off here. So maybe someone recently left your life and you both realize you're toxic for each other and you're not seeing eye to eye, and you both know that you need to work on yourselves. Maybe, I'm not going to say no one's coming back because that's up to the universe, but work on yourself. If something with work needs to be finished, if something with your health needs to be finished, focus on that because you got the victory coming, okay? And maybe through that, you get some romantic feelings through that too. Cappy. Aquarius. My Aquarians. Mars retrograde in the 5th of Gemini. Children, karmic rewards, romance, short-term romance, sex. You might be dealing with a trickster. And with Mars in there, it's going to want to cut it out, okay? You're going to want to just get rid of it. Mercury in the sign of Libra for you is that the 8th for you? Leo. It's the 9th. Is it the 9th? Yes, it is the 9th. Sorry, okay, so 5th and 9th house for you, Aquarius. So 5th house, short-term romances, sex, romance, children, fun and games. You might be cutting something out here that needs some reworking, all right? Something's got to go. Something's got to be released. You're going to want to review that over this Mars retrograde period, all the way till March of 2023. Mercury, what's on your mind in that relationship sector, in the sign of the scales, is also your 9th house, and that's far off places, foreign people, foreign lands, people politica, father-like figures, mentors. So maybe there's something here that you just need to review, and it's coming up right now. But the thing is, the 5th and the 9th are great houses. So if you can identify that which needs to go, Aquarius, karmic rewards start coming in. So take your time, but understand that something's got to go here. So this is the advice for you. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek, okay? Remember 5th and 9th house? Sometimes that has to do with short-term romances, marriages, father figures, authority figures, far-off people, far-off lands. So this could be the one. Let's see what the Tarot has to say. You're not sure. I don't like seeing this card with you, Aquarius. Aquarius, you tend to be detached already. You tend to overanalyze everything. And here, this is exactly what you're doing. You're lost in your thoughts. She's blindfolded, not really sure what to do next. And the advice here is to step back. Clear your thoughts, do some meditation, get those thoughts back in order, because you're not seeing everything clearly. And if you make any rash decisions, this is when things get really nasty. Now, after the 8 is the 9. The 9 of Swords is mental turmoil, staying up late at night, not being able to sleep. So let's not go down that path. Take care of your sleep. Take care of yourself. And everything will be revealed to you in the meantime. But you can't be stuck for too long. You can be in the mud for a little bit, but you got to start moving, okay? So don't be sitting around. Like, get out. You're supposed to be moving, Aquarius, right? That's what you do. Get out, see some friends, go socialize. Like, this is the time to do it. It's not the time to be sitting around doing nothing, because you're going to go crazy otherwise. All right, Pisces, you're the last one. I love my Pisces. All right, Pisces, Mars and Gemini. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, home. So yeah, you're cutting something out of the house. The trickster is coming out of the house for you, Pisces. 4th house is home, family, roots, foundation. You need to review this. There's something that is double-sided that's probably not working for you, and Mars is going to want to cut it, okay? So identify what that is and really watch your speech. Again, it's for you. 4th house, this could come up with mom too. It also has an impact on your 10th house of career. So there's this dichotomy between home and career and deciding kind of what to do next. Now, Mercury retrograde in the sign of Libra, which is coming up in the next 10 days, is in the sign, I just said the sign of Libra. Libra is the sign of balance, harmony, negotiating, right? So you're trying to figure out that right balance between the two, because your ruling planet Jupiter is in his home sign. He's in his home. He wants to just bathe in the house, right? He wants all the feelings in the house, and he's opposing Mercury. This could be it's a battle between communication and ideals. What are your ideals, and what are you communicating? And do they match with your partner? Actually, I just spoke. Okay, so Pisces. Your ruling sign is actually in Aries, not in Pisces. Jupiter, so I totally screwed that up. So forget everything I just said. Let's start over. Pisces. Jupiter is in your 2nd house of earned income, speech, how you value yourself. This is healing. This is protection. There could be some money coming in too by the end of this transit. But the thing is, it's also opposing Mercury, still in the sign of Libra, and it's this battle between the ego of wanting to be independent and yet communicating with others, and figuring out how that works between you and your relationship, and it has to do with home and work. Are you balancing the two appropriately? Or are you sweeping something under the rug here that needs to be brought up? The foundation needs to be reviewed. Mars wants to cut those things out of the foundation that aren't working for you. And Mercury is going to stir all these thoughts up in your mind about your relationship. And that's in your 8th house. All people, debts, mortgages, other people's money. So all of these themes coming up for you, Pisces. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here, right? So this is probably why you don't want to let go. This is why something has to be still cut out, right? Because there is this great attraction, this great passion between you two, this great magnetic energy that you want to keep coming back to. But is it toxic? Is it really helping you? Or is it hindering you? Let's figure this one out. Well, maybe you're looking at something else here, Pisces. This is the arrows of love from a distant land. They're coming at you hard. So someone's got some serious attractions to you, and maybe you're deciding, do I move for this person? Is this really the one for me? Maybe it is. The arrows of love are coming at you hard. So perhaps it's that Mercury, really filling you up with a great amount of love and you're feeling filled. You know, it couldn't be tension, but it might. It could turn into that very quickly if this isn't what it's supposed to be. And I'm not saying it's not, but make sure you are looking underneath the hood, Pisces, okay? You tend to go on emotion and you sometimes forget about the logic. You gotta look underneath the hood. What do those details of this person say? So that's all I'm gonna say about it. You're gonna wanna take a look at it. All right, so that's it. I just went through the signs. You know, it's not gonna be an easy one, and the biggest thing we can do is to watch our speech, watch our thought patterns. Are you surrounding yourself with people that build you up? Or are you surrounding yourself with people that drag you down? Do these people match your values? That's the biggest one. And Mars is going to want to separate from that which is not working. Speech, thought patterns, careful traveling, and bad habits. It's all of those things coming up. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be back a little bit more. This is going to be my last month in my condo. I bought a house, so you guys are going to see me in a different atmosphere come October. So I'm going to be on a little bit more lately. I'm going to be doing more of the tarot. I'm going to be talking about the astrology, because from now basically until March is when things are going to get really heated, and people are going to start, you're going to see kind of a little bit of a warped mind come out. And I will be honest with you, I kind of went through something similar over the weekend. I thought I was losing my mind. Just like not thinking clearly through things. And that was the wake-up call that I need. Gotta take a step back from things if it's just not clear, right? Because Neptune in the sign of Pisces, it makes it very foggy. And it's challenging us to cut out those things that fog your intuition. Alcohol, drugs, sex, 12th house, those are the things that we escape from or escape with. And Neptune makes it very foggy, very ethereal in nature. So if your spidey senses are going up about something and you're like, this doesn't make sense to me, I'm not seeing the whole story, you're right, you're not. And Neptune will make that very clear. And Neptune's retrograding, which means the rose-colored glasses are essentially coming off. What's been hidden from you will be seen very clearly through these retrogrades. And life paths over the next 6 months will be very different, especially with those eclipses close to Halloween. It is like, it's a 1-2 hit, because they're gonna hit us real hard on that Taurus Scorpio axis, and it's a clearing. It's a clearing. Whatever is not meant for you is going to be gone by that time, and it's okay. Destiny is realigning us. So the more we accept this idea of separation, cutting out those things that are no longer working for us, especially with speech and the mind, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna get through this just fine. All right, so that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like these videos and would like to see more, please click the like button and subscribe. Leave me a comment, and we'll talk to you probably next week. Take care.